you today? This is quite exciting actually, because the physical copies of the journals I created a good few weeks ago have arrived. Now, I didn't order them earlier because I think I was terrified that they were going to be absolutely dreadful and that I'd have wasted my time. Now, I'm not going to waste time today. I've explained why I had a little go at creating journals and a notebook. I explained that on previous videos. So really, this is just about, having a look at them, seeing what they look like in the flesh. Now, this one I'm going to come to last because it really is the worst of the bunch. And it was the very first one I made. This one and this one, I'm actually quite pleased with in a lot of ways. Now, with this one, the Build Your Self-Worth and Learn to Love Yourself a Whole Lot More journal, I actually put it up on the Sleepy Pilgrim Facebook group, of which I'm a member, and asked people what they thought about the cover. And of course, you will always leave yourself open when you ask for people's opinion. However, people were very helpful. And, generally speaking, a lot of people said they liked it. There were some suggestions about the font. A couple of people said take the lady off the front and off the back. A couple of people said they liked the lady. Somebody said maybe reduce the size of the lady so that's not going across her head. Somebody else suggested that I take it off entirely because it implies that only white women are entitled to have self-worth and to love themselves. But I understood a point, and I'm not arguing with it, but, in all fairness, there are plenty of journals on Amazon with black women and brown women and Asian women on the front, as there should be. So, this is just another journal. Anyway, so I have this morning, spent a couple of hours redoing the cover. So I've made the lady smaller. I've not made much adjustment. I've altered the font a little bit. I've made the lady smaller. And I'm going to leave it at that. So again, if anybody has any views or opinions on how it should look different, it's a little bit late because I'm going to keep it as it is for a while and see how it goes. I've rewritten the description and uploaded that, and I've redone the 7 KDP keyword boxes after taking some, what I think is probably bad advice from a guy whose name I can't even remember, who said just stuff the 7 keyword boxes with as many words as you can possibly get in. So I've redone that. Okay, so now, so here's the back. So it's 151 pages. Now, yes, I have used Canva to do this, the dreaded Canva that a lot of people despise. And, it's not the most sort of classy. Classy. I like it. It's a nice book. It is a nice book. But I didn't create any of these images myself. Okay, so we have an opening. I do not put in at this book belongs to page because no disrespect to anybody who does, but how old are we? 6? Do we need this book belongs to? So I don't do that. We have the contents. We have, the first question has to be, what is it that's holding me back? We talk about the pain of rejection. We look at some of the reasons, the ways in which we have experienced rejection throughout our life. And, how it's impacted upon us. Then there are some prompts here as well. So we have prompts. Now we have various sections. My thoughts on rejection, critical things I say about myself. So I've got a page here, if I can find it. Critical things I say about myself. So we have that section. Then we have a challenging section. Is this true? Who decided it's true? Do I believe that it's true? Then we have a section on what I love and admire about myself. Then we have a poem that I wrote, a motivational poem. Then we're getting into the goals. Everything I intend to experience and achieve as inspiration takes me. Then we get into the goals, most important goals, the short-term goals, the long-term goals. Then we have, progression. We can follow our own progression. And what positive steps did I take today? Okay, how am I progressing? And I'm sorry about the when I do, can't stop it. I really can't stop it. when I do other videos and I've scripted myself, I haven't scripted myself today, I can cut the out. So I'm sorry, you'll just have to bear with me. And then we have freestyle pages at the end for any thoughts or any extra or additional notes. So I don't think that's too bad. It's not selling at the moment. And people may say, well, I'm sure some people go, well, that's because your cover's naff. But I've just done a video on that very subject. So you know what? Everyone's always going to have an opinion. But I'm going to give it a good shot. I'm going to give it a good shot. So I've redone the description. I've redone the keywords. I've made some amendments to the cover. And I'm going to take it from there. Okay. So I hope I've got this camera in the right position here to see this. Now, this one is a journal for... It's a very niche market. It's not something that everyone is going to buy, but it's for people who like to write their thoughts down about those loved ones that they've lost. I know people who do this. My youngest daughter sometimes writes little letters to her beloved cat. Now, I know she's, 28 now, but she had a beloved cat from being about 7, 8 until 3 years ago, and they were best buddies. And it devastated her. She's still devastated to this day. And it was an amazing animal. And she admitted to me that she sometimes writes little notes to her, little letters, or just talks to her. This was when I told her that I'd come up with this idea. Now, other people have come up with this idea, okay? It's not just me. But I thought, well, it's a nice one. Now, the cover, I've picked this because I like it. I think it's cute. I would buy it. However, there's been comments that, no, that cover's completely wrong. So I'm going to rethink the cover, and I might get somebody else to do that for me. But I kind of like the idea. This one's in colour. So, of course, you've got to charge more for the colour ones because they cost more to publish through KDP onto Amazon. So I've written the contents for this. So I have a poem here. Here's the contents. How to use your journal. Then we have lined pages for you to write your little messages of love, your notes, thoughts and feelings to those who have gone. Then this was originally published as a blog post on my website, so I've included that. Oh, the cat showed up. She loves to do this when I am recording. She doesn't bother coming for a fuss at any other time until I'm doing this. So you might hear some chaos or see things jumping around. Okay, then another poem, more lined pages, another poem, and another one. And this was an excerpt from a blog post, a poem about, to a dog this time, to our beloved dog, rather than a person. There's another poem that I wrote, and this is the final poem in the book that I wrote. And then we have just the last few pages. Okay, so I don't think that's too bad. I'm quite pleased with the way that's worked out. She's headed this way, by the way. She might bring everything crashing down. And now this is an accompanying notebook. This one here is an accompanying notebook. I had this bright idea. Oh, well, if they fill that one up, they can come to this. I had a hell of a job uploading this to KDP. In the end, I had to unpublish it and republish it because they couldn't get the fact that I'd created that and that was accompanying to it. It was like I was nicking somebody else's idea. But there was another thing. I'd followed some other very, very bad advice, and I'd basically keyword stuffed on the title on this one. I'm ashamed to say that. I know better. I absolutely know better. But I did it. Anyway, KDP, what they did was and I hadn't gone over the number of words I was allowed to use, but they cut a chunk out the middle, so it didn't make any sense at all. So I got permission then, and that took me a little while to redo the subtitle, because once you published it, you're not allowed to change the title of the subtitle. But I got permission after much faff. And yes, so that was the last of the keyword stuffing in subtitles for me. But anyway, so I thought, here we go. So again, the similar cover, just to kind of keep in line, but that's going to have to go. So again, this one is in colour. It's basically more lined pages. There's a poem there and then the same lined pages. But what I've done with these is I've actually included some colourful images. Yeah, some, what else, where else are we? Let's have a look. Just, you know, just to give it a bit of added interest in there. I'm sure I must have missed one. There you go. So they've not come out bad, actually. I'm really quite pleased with the way that they've come out. And this is not premium colour. This is standard colour. Premium colour would have been way too expensive. And then I end with a poem there. There. So that was the notebook. Now, here we go. This one. Now, I think it's cute. You see, but that's just me. My goals, my hopes, my dreams, my fears. No, my fears, my dreams. And it's a journal. But you see, the problem is it means nothing to people on Amazon, does it? So whatever keywords, whatever phrases they're typing in to look for a product, nobody's going to type in talking to myself about myself. They're just not going to do that, are they? And so I really messed up there. So it's all very nice and it's all very pretty, but it's a bit blooming useless. Same on the back there, like that. Now inside, it's quite childlike. So this was the first one I made. And you can see, honestly, it looks like it's for a 8-year-old, a 5-year-old or an 8-year-old, or somebody who's got really bad eyesight. So there's a poem. There's another poem. How do I view myself? So technically this was, you know, talking to yourself, about how you feel, what you hope for, what you fear, what you're proud of, and about how you've changed and what you still want to let go of. And of course, about all that you want to achieve. This is your journal, a place to go to spill out all of those thoughts and feelings that can so easily become tangled and indecipherable. Blah, blah, blah. Right, so how do I view myself? So we have some pages for that. Then what I intend to achieve, my goals. There's another poem there. But you can see these pages. What was I thinking? Honestly, but it was my first attempt. Here she comes again. Lady Luck, she better watch out. There's another poem. Oh, excuse me. She's gone and stood on my computer and set it off. Little bugger. Yeah, anyway, there we go. So then we've got what ways have I changed? Then we've got some gratitude, a poem about gratitude at the back. So, but look at the images on it. I mean, it's kind of cute, but it does look as if it should be for a child. It's not for a grown-up, is it? At all. It's not for a grown-up. There we go. So, I'll probably unpublish that. I mean, it'll still sit there on my Amazon sales page because once you publish it, if it's an ebook, just an ebook, they usually let you unpublish it and it disappears. But if it's a paperback, you can unpublish it, but it stays where it is and they don't remove the image. Well, that's my experience anyway, and they seem to be pretty immovable on that. So that's a goner. That one and that one, they're going to have new covers on them. That one, well, I've already done some work on this one, so I'm going to give it a shot, and I'll probably have to advertise it as well. I've been learning about Amazon ads, and a very good guy to listen to on that score is Chris Raydog, and he gives a free, one of his videos, he gives a free course on Amazon ads, which is a series of little videos, but they are really helpful. So yeah, so there, you've seen them in the flesh. That's what I've done, okay, from listening to the gurus. And I've learned a lot. And I don't know, will I ever make another journal? I did say I never ever would. But if I could come up with something in particular, colour, I might always, if I'm going to do anything in the future, it's going to be colour. And that's going to cost more, I know. And therefore may sell less. But I kind of like it. I don't know. I'll have a good think about it. But I'll have to utilise everything I've learned to make them look even better. So, yeah, so there you go. I hope you enjoyed that. Let's put that under there so you can't see it anymore. Okie doke. Okay then, take care